I'm about to show you how you can get your first wholesale deal virtually step by step. So watch this video. If you don't know me, my name is Kenneth Dusang. I actually am the founder of Virtual Wholesaling Ninjas. If you're not part of that Facebook group, go join it now. The link is in the description. So what we do is we wholesale houses virtually. And what that means is on our laptops, we find houses where the owners just don't want them anymore, or they're in a position where they need to sell them. We'll get a contract to buy them virtually, and then we sell our contract and we're making 10, 20, 30, even over $50,000 on some deals. So you're gonna literally learn how to do that in this video step by step. You gotta pick your market, and that's the first step. So when you're picking a market, what we like to do is we'll go look on the map and we'll find a city somewhere in any state that's larger and bolder on the map. And we're gonna go into that county, and that's the county that we'll start marketing in. As far as what state we go into, it just is really random. This business can literally be done in any state. Obviously, Oklahoma, Illinois makes it a little bit more difficult, but there are ways around the laws there. When you're picking a market to get into, just pick really anywhere and just make sure it's a bigger city and you're gonna target the county within that market. Now you're gonna build a buyer's list. Building a buyer's list is really important. You want to do this first. There's a lot of gurus out there that are going to tell you to go and find the deal first. What you're going to do if you do that is set yourself up for failure, and it's going to take a lot longer to sell your deals, and you're going to get stuck with contracts. So when you're building a buyer's list, this is really easy. I teach how to do it using a Zillow hack. If you don't know what the Zillow hack is, go on my page and just look for the cash buyer Zillow hack. And there's other ways you can build a buyer's list. You can use List Source, which is really easy. You can actually build about a 200 to 300 buyer's list pretty fast using List Source. You can also go to the Builders Association in each county and go to the member directory, and there's going to be builders and rehabbers with the phone numbers in those directories. So that's how you're going to build your buyer's list. I want you to have at least 60 buyers on your list before you start doing anything else. And this is really a really important number to have. Reason for it is when I first started wholesaling and I had a buyer's list, I had about 120 to 130. And the way I built my buyer's list was I went to all these different Facebook groups and I searched people that said they were buyers, and I just took their word for it. I put them on an Excel sheet, and I noticed I wasn't closing deals, and I had legit deals. I just couldn't close them. And then I started noticing my deals started popping back up in these wholesale groups. Then I realized these guys aren't really buyers. They're just other wholesalers. So when I built my buyer's list and redid it, and I did it the right way, when I had 50 buyers on my list, that's when I was selling my deals like they were hotcakes, and my business just blew up. So now that you have a buyer's list, your next step is the fun one. Start looking for your sellers. So what I want to do is I'm going to go into List Source and show you exactly how we filter our sellers. Yes, we use List Source. We've been using them for years. Most of these gurus are going to be posting and pushing out PropStream. PropStream is straight garbage. Yeah, you can get deals here and there from them, but if you compare the data that you get from PropStream and List Source is by far the better system, and we're closing anywhere from 5 to 8 deals every single month using List Source. So what we like to do with List Source is we're gonna go into our state, then we're gonna go into our county. Now that we've found our county, we're gonna go over to property. We're gonna go to single family residences. We like to put as well residential quadplexes, triplexes, and duplexes, and residential apartments. And then what we do is the only other filter that we do, we go over to options. We put it as out of state owned. We like going after out of state owned because the sellers live outside of the state. They are in another state, which makes wholesaling virtually so much easier when you're having to get your buyers over to the property. So keep that in mind. There are other lists that we target. For the most part, out of state owned is a really hot and really good list to go after. You're gonna have a lot of people on that list that are, they own rentals, and those rentals are really good to sell to buy and hold investors and even rehabbers. So keep that in mind when you're using List Source, and definitely start marketing to this list because it's fire. So now that you have your list of sellers, the next thing you're gonna wanna do is get phone numbers for them. So we actually are able to get phone numbers for only 7 cents a piece, which is really, really cheap compared to all of these other systems that these gurus own. What's great about our system is very accurate. If you want to know exactly who we use, go ahead and text me at 405-561-2263 and I'll send you that info. So now that you have a list of sellers with their phone numbers, what you can do is market to them. You can do mass text messaging, which we do that a lot. We use a company called Text P2P. There you can send 1,000 text messages for $40. And then we cold call. So we actually have a cold calling company that does all of the calling for us. If you want to know who they are, just send me another text, 405-561-2263. We get a lot of leads through this company and they're actually pretty cheap compared to others. So the next step is, now that you're marketing to your sellers, you should start getting leads. And once you start getting your leads, you're going to want to start putting them into a CRM, and you're going to want to build a follow-up system. Having a follow-up system is by far one of the best ways to build a actual business. And you're going to hear a lot of people say the fortune is in the follow-up, and that's extremely true, but people don't ever tell you what they mean by that. So what a good follow-up system does is you can build out a system to where it automatically reaches out to your leads once a week or once a month or 3 times a month. You can build it out however you want, and it's personalized. So you can have it send an email, you can have it send a text, tell you to call them, actually bring in assistants to come in and start doing the calls for you. And that's just how you start automating things. Now that you're getting leads, you're going to start getting people that actually want to sell, and they're going to start accepting your offers. So the way that you're going to come up with your offer is by using the generic formula. So the formula is your ARV times 70% minus repairs minus how much money you want to make is how much you're going to offer to your seller. Now, we like to include a $20,000 assignment fee for us, and that just gives us a ton of room to negotiate. But obviously, when we're negotiating, we're trying to get the price out of them first, then us giving them the price. If we can't get the price out of them, we're going to start at a $20,000 assignment fee. Now that you have an offer accepted, it's time to get a contract on that property. So the way we get our contract signed by our sellers is, once the offer is accepted, we're going to fill out the contract. Leave a comment if you want to know exactly how to fill out a contract. If I get enough comments on that, I'm going to go ahead and do a video on how to fill one out. Now that you filled out your contract, you got to get it signed by them. We use DocuSign. Good services to use if you're trying to get your contract signed. So now that you have a signed contract by your seller, now you got to sell that contract. This is where your buyers list comes in, and why it's important to have a strong buyers list in the beginning. You're going to go ahead and email all of your buyers or message them by text, let them know the details on the contract you have, how much you're selling it for, and etc. When I say how much you're selling it for, we actually don't tell our buyers. We just tell the buyers to make us their highest and best offer, and then we go in and negotiate with the buyers. So that's kind of how the system works. Next thing that you're going to want to do is obviously find yourself a title company. Finding a title company is really simple. You're just going to go into Facebook groups. Say you're doing this in Duval County, Florida. What you're going to do is go on Facebook, look for Duval County real estate investor groups, join them. You're going to see a ton of posts of people who have asked that same question. And that's how you're going to find title companies for your deals. Now, the last step, once you got the contract at the title company and you found a buyer to buy that contract and you assign it to them, your title company is going to close and you're going to get paid. So with this business, you can literally make 30, 40, 50. I mean, we've made over $100,000 on one deal in the past. So this business is great, and you don't need a license to do this. If you want to learn how to do this step by step with me one-on-one, text me here and we can discuss how I can help you out.